Welcome back friends, this is part 3 of your ratio analysis. Here we'll discuss about third type of ratio analysis, that is capital structure or leverage ratio. So what is this capital structure or leverage ratio? It discuss about the long term commitments of the company. So it discuss about long term commitments of the companies, means is it the company is worthy in order to pay the interest on loans that they have taken, are the companies in a position to pay back the principal amount what the outsiders has invested in the company. So this is all was going to be discussed in capital structure or leverage ratio. In this, first one is debt equity ratio, second one is interest coverage ratio, and third one is ratio of proprietors funds to total asset. First we discuss about debt equity ratio. So let me give what is meant by this debt. Debt is nothing but an long terms that we have taken from the company. Okay, so this long terms what we have taken in the form of loans. Debt is nothing but in the form of loans that we have taken for a long term. And equities means the owners funds. Equity means owners funds. Owners funds are called as an equity. So debt equity ratio is the ratio between outsiders funds and insiders funds. Who are the outsiders? Outsiders are the debt holders and insiders are the equity holders. So insiders are called owners, outsiders are called as a loan amount. Okay, so this is used to measure the firm's obligation to creditors in relation to the owner's funds. So with the help of this debt equity ratio, we are able to measure whether the company is in a position to pay back the creditors or not. Okay, this is measure of solvency ratio is 1 is to 1. So how much of debt to equity ratio that we have to maintain is 1 is to 1. Okay, so if at all the higher the debt equity ratio, means creditors are more when compared to our assets. Okay, when compared to the insiders, outsiders are being more, means loan amount is more when compared to our assets. When debt equity ratio is been less, means loan amount is less. So this is high, this is less. Here loan amount is less when compared to our assets. Okay, assets. So always our debt equity ratio should be very least in order to meet the long term obligation. So what is the formula of debt equity ratio? Is debt by equity, or we can call as debt is nothing but outsiders funds and equity means insider funds. So insiders means who are they are nothing but shareholders funds. Okay, this is how. So let us see into one problem related to a debt equity ratio. So I think in the part 1 of ratio analysis we have discussed, from the following balance sheet of ABC Limited, calculate debt equity ratio. So with the help of this, we will try to calculate debt equity ratio. Okay, so debt is nothing but the as of the loans that we will take. So loan amount, what is the loan amount is? Preference share capital is the owners. Preference shareholders are called as an owners. We have discussed in the third unit. So how preference shareholders are called as an owners and equity shareholders are also called as an owner. But what is the small difference between equity shareholders and preference shareholders is, equity shareholders are called the real owners of the company. Preference shareholders are called near owners of the company. They are called as near owners of the company. So general reserves. Next, general reserve is nothing but so we will maintain certain part of our ప్రాఫిట్స్ లోంచి మనం కొద్ది పార్ట్స్ సేవ్ చేస్తూ ఉంటాం. ఆ సేవింగ్స్ని ఏమంటామంటే జనరల్ రిజర్వ్స్గా తీసి పెడుతూ ఉంటాం. వై వి విల్ మెయింటైన్ జనరల్ రిజర్వ్స్ ఈజ్ బికాస్ ఆఫ్ ఫ్యూచర్ అన్సర్టైనిటీస్ కోసం వి విల్ మెయింటైన్ ద జనరల్. So this general reserves is from the profit. So who will take the profits of the company is nothing but owners. So this is again related to the owners, nothing but insiders. Next, debentures. Debentures is a loans that has been provided by the public. డిబెంచర్స్ పబ్లిక్ ఎవరైతే లోన్ రూపంలో ఇన్వెస్ట్మెంట్ చేస్తారో వాటిని డిబెంచర్స్ అని అంటాం. సో దిస్ ఈజ్ నథింగ్ బట్ మై లాంగ్ టర్మ్ లైబిలిటీ అంటాం. సో దిస్ ఈజ్ మై డెట్. నెక్స్ట్, క్రెడిటర్స్ ఈజ్ ఎ కరెంట్ liability. We have discussed in the topic in a video part 1 of your ratio analysis. Outstanding expenses also current liabilities. Profit and loss account is, you see here profit and loss. So if profits comes, the owners will take, loss comes also owners will take. So this is again related to owners. Bank loan, always bank loan will be a long term liability. Okay, so what is this is called as a debt. So according to the problem, how many debts we have? Debentures and long term, that is bank loan. So next we got an insiders fund, nothing but equities are nothing but preference share capital, equity share capital, general reserves and profit and loss account. So we will see how to solve the problem. So you can see here, outsider funds are nothing but debentures plus long term. Outsider funds are also called as a debt. So how much? So where in the question they have given that they are been in thousand. So debentures are 400 plus 1000. So that is nothing but 1000 means 4 lakhs. Next is bank loan is 200. Here they have in thousands means 2 lakhs. Okay. So 4 lakhs plus 2 lakhs is 6000. 6 lakhs. Insiders funds, preference share capital plus equity share capital plus general reserves plus profit and loss account all comes under the insiders funds. When you add all those things, we will get 6 lakh. So debt equity ratio formula is outsiders funds by insiders funds. 6 lakhs divided by 6 lakhs, that is 1:1. So according to the debt equity ratio, they have given a standard called as 1:1. Yes, the company is in a position to meet the standards, means the company is in a good position. They are able to meet their outside funds. Next we go with an interest coverage ratio. So this is an interest coverage ratio. With the help of this interest coverage ratio, we are able to know that whether the company are able to pay the interest to the outsiders or not. If the company is in a good position that they are regularly paying the interest to the outsiders, yes, many of the peoples will be willing to give us more of the credit to the company. So if we are not in a position to pay back even the interest, means no one will come forward for to give the company any of the loan. Okay, with the help of this, we are able to know the interest coverage ratio of a company. That is, interest coverage ratio is calculated to judge the firm's capacity to pay the interest on debt it borrows. The higher ratio implies that the company has no problem in paying. So if at all we have interest coverage ratio high ratio, it means the company is in a good position. So interest coverage ratio formula is net profit before interest and taxes by fixed interest charges. Okay, next we see one problem. So that is the earnings before interest and taxes. We call it as of EBIT. So EBITDA. EBIT of a company is rupees 5,60,000. Its fixed commitments include payment of 10% on 7,000 debentures of 100 each. It is subject to a tax of 30% per annum. So what was the earnings before interest and taxes of a company is 5 lakhs. So according to, we want interest earning net profit before interest and taxes. That is what the earnings before is nothing but profits. Before interest and taxes, how much of profit that the company got? 5,60,000. And it has a fixed commitment include payment of 10% on 7,000. Now only I have discussed that. Debentures is nothing but the loan. We got it. So interest will be paid on the loan amount only. So debentures are nothing but the loans given by the public. So how much of debentures we had is 7,000 debentures we have. 7,000 debenture, each one costing 100 rupees. Where 7,000 debentures we have issued, where one debenture costing 100. It means 7,000 into 100. It becomes 7 lakhs. So how much of loan amount we have incurred is 7 lakhs. On this 7 lakh, how much of interest that we have promised to pay is 10%. So this is how we get our interest. It is subject to a tax of 30% per annum. So 30% per annum we have to pay a tax. But in the question, according to the formula, we need not to require after the tax. We have to require before that. So ignore this point. So now here, net profit before interest and taxes that they have given is 5,60,000. Next, fixed interest charges and so how many debentures we had? 7,000, where each one is costing 100 rupees. So total is 7 lakhs debentures we have. On 7 lakhs, how much of interest that we are paying? 10%. So total my percentage of 7 lakhs of 10% interest is 70,000. So directly I am substituting formula. Net interest coverage ratio is net profit before interest and taxes by fixed interest charge. That is 5,60,000 divided by 70,000 becomes 8 times. So my company is in a good position that I am in a position to pay my interest. Next we discuss ratio of proprietors funds to total assets. So here we are discussing about how much of proprietors are holding in terms of total assets. Means company లో ఉన్న total assets కి proprietors ఎంత హోల్డ్ చేసుకుంటున్నారు. That is, it establishes a relationship between proprietors funds and the total asset. Here total assets means tangible assets అంటాం. Tangible అంటే which we can see. Tangible means which we can see. Intangible means which we can't see. Okay, hence the total assets include tangible assets only. The tangibles are fixed assets and current assets. Okay, so fixed assets, current assets. So formula is, and ratios that they have to maintain is 0.5:1, the standard ratio. Formula is ratio of proprietor funds to total assets is equal to proprietor's funds by total assets into 100. Okay, we'll see a problem. So this is your question. So calculate proprietor's funds to and ratio of proprietor's funds to total assets. This is what they have given. So total assets mean they said that is nothing but fixed assets plus current assets. Fixed assets means we have discussed in part 1 of this ratio analysis. Land and building is called as total asset, that is fixed asset. Plant and machinery is a fixed asset. Furniture and fixture is a fixed asset. Fixed assets means which we take long time to convert them into a cash. Okay, stock, debtor, cash at bank, cash in hand, prepaid expenses, these are all called as a current assets which are taking very less time for conversion of this into a cash. Okay, next, what are the proprietor's funds? Proprietor funds are nothing but who are the owners. Owners is nothing but the insiders. So they are called as preference shares, equity share capital, general reserves, and profit and loss account are related to them. So now you can see here proprietor funds. So we are calculating now according to the formula of we require proprietor's funds plus total assets. Okay, proprietor funds are preference share capital plus equity share capital plus general reserves plus profit and loss. So overall when you total all this, we got an amount called as 6,000. Next is total asset. So the total assets in the question itself, they have given all this together called as 1500. So in thousand, so it becomes 15 lakhs. So total assets rupees 15 lakhs. So ratio of proprietor's funds to total assets, the finally 6 lakhs divided by 15 lakhs into 100, that becomes 40%. So the ratio of proprietor funds to total assets is of 40%. So thank you. In next video we discuss the last concept of your ratio analysis.